Just 6 games after bringing Luka on board, the Lakers have rocketed to second place in the Western Conference, an unexpected surge that caught everyone off guard, including Grandma. No one saw this coming, but here they are, turning heads and shaking up the standings.
There's no way. No way.
This was the game where the Lakers officially leapfrogged the Nuggets in the standings. Just take a moment to let that sink in. On Luka's 26th birthday, the Lakers had just handed the Clippers a loss, and LA's other team came into this matchup with a fresh strategy. But what unfolded was a mix of comedy and tragedy. In their last clash, Ivica Zubac had crushed the Lakers, dropping 27 points and grabbing 16 boards against their centerless lineup. This time, the Clippers had Norman Powell back in action, while the Lakers were down Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. Things kicked off with a promising sign. Dorian Finney-Smith hit a clean look off a flare screen from Jackson Hayes, but the Lakers still had a big question looming. With 2 key scorers out, who would rise to fill the scoring gap?
Out now, good ball movement, finds Dorian Finney-Smith with 2, with 1. He's going to have to fire it up. Over Powell to score.
Luka's critics, especially those who haven't really watched him closely, don't realize this is the most locked in he's ever been on defense. He's not just showing up on offense anymore. He's bringing real energy and effort on both ends of the floor.
It's Luka flashing some defense.
Zubac gave LeBron a little love tap, a not so subtle reminder to the Lakers that the paint belonged to him. It was his way of marking territory, signaling that anyone driving in would have to go through him first.
James Harden, Dunn, who played at Providence, and we've got a
When it came to defending Luka, the Clippers had one mission: wear him down. They brought the pressure full-time, getting physical and crowding him on every possession, hoping to disrupt his rhythm and test his endurance. Clippers clearly didn't take any notes from the last matchup. Instead of adjusting, they ran it back with the same approach hand once again. It backfired.
Another step back by Luka. That's 2 in a row. Happy birthday, Luka Doncic.
He stuck with the same flawed tactic, switching Zubac onto every pick and roll just like before. And Luka, he made them pay for it, dishing out the punishment they absolutely had coming.
over 500.
Sending to defenders at Luka to get the ball out of his hands. But that move backfired. It left the short roll wide open, and Jamison took full advantage, slipping into space and making plays.
Bench was praised by JJ, and Jamison was one of them.
At least this strategy had a shot at slowing down Luka, forcing him to give up the ball, but the Lakers countered by switching things up. They stopped sending the screen, giving Luka the freedom to work his magic in open space. And when you let him cook like that, it's trouble for anyone trying to defend him.
Fortunate. Luka!
You can't guard me. Sage words from the master himself. And just to make sure you're reminded, Luka's not just scoring, he'll also slice you apart with the perfect pass, leaving defenders completely helpless.
Catch, shoot, connect! On the assist from Doncic, another timeout!
At this point, the Clippers' only hope seemed to be trying to take Luka out of the game physically. They were grasping at straws, resorting to dangerous tactics instead of finding a way to stop him on the court.
That's your wish. Doncic will go ahead and shoot a couple.
Luka had to head back to the locker room for it, but when it came to guarding Harden or Powell on pick, JJ was adamant the Lakers needed to ice it. You could hear him loud and clear through the broadcast, calling for that for the Lakers. And once again, we were to a classic. Luka to LeBron for the touchdown. The connection was flawless, proving that when those two link up, it's pure magic.
At the rim. And here's LBJ!
How many times did we see this in the last meeting on Friday?
Rookie got his moment to shine, showcasing his impressive hops with a dunk that had the crowd buzzing. It was a reminder of the youthful energy he brings to the court.
Finney-Smith again. Connect! Flying in there for the final jam!
I like it.
And he didn't stop there. He also showed off some slick shot creation, adding a whole new layer to his game. A perfect mix of athleticism and skill.
Connect! Got it!
Lakers were locked in, showing impressive discipline on defense, staying in front of their man and forcing tough, contested shots. Here's a wild stat for you. James Harden has been shooting just 20% against the Lakers this season, so it's safe to say JJ has figured him out. With a 34-28 lead to kick off the game, the Lakers were on fire, hitting 13 of their first 17 shots, including 7 of 10 from 3, despite 9 turnovers. Unfortunately for the Clippers, things took a turn when Norman Powell was ruled out to start the second quarter.
First of all, Norman Powell, we get word, is out for the game. So he comes back after missing 5, Stu, and he's out with a hamstring.
Fortunately for the Clippers, LeBron was still having an off night. Despite the Lakers' strong start, his struggles kept things from getting out of hand early on.
LeBron pulls up for 3.
With LeBron struggling, Connect kept the flame burning, providing the much-needed scoring punch in the absence of Reeves and Hakeem. His contributions were crucial in keeping the Lakers' offense rolling. It was a great moment to see Wonderboy return from the locker room, and just as he did, Kawhi decided it was time to step up. For a brief stretch, the Clippers caught fire and were cooking with gas, showing flashes of their potential.
Corner 3. And the Clippers have a couple in a row.
Eventually, LeBron managed to get one to drop, but Boardman wasn't having it. He responded immediately, draining a shot off, doing what he does best, pulling off lethal moves in isolation, effortlessly breaking down defenders and making his presence felt.
And Leonard.
Seeing Leonard heat up, JJ quickly adjusted by putting two defenders on the ball whenever Kawhi had it. That change made a big difference, slowing him down and eventually paying off for the Lakers.
Here comes Bogdanovich. Can he get the bounce? He cannot, and the Lakers still.
Thanks to coach's adjustments, the Clippers went ice cold, enduring a brutal 7.5-minute scoring drought to close out the half. To make matters worse, Luka was back on the floor, and the Clippers struggled to keep track of the Lakers' shooters on the weak side after the double team.
The game hits a three.
Offensive struggles started to spill over into their defense, leading to a lack of energy and missed opportunities on the board. The wild part, LeBron's numbers after turning 40 have actually been better than his MVP winning years, despite the Clippers' 7.5-minute scoring drought. The Lakers finished the half up by just 13. JJ was mostly pleased with the defense, but noted some concerns with the Lakers' spacing that needed to be. The Clippers finally snapped their scoring drought, thanks to Boardman doing what Boardman does best, delivering when it mattered most.
Rebound by Leonard, who puts it up and in. To the left-hand wing, done. Bogdanovich. No, tapped up and in by Leonard.
While the rest of his teammates were struggling, Kawhi was on fire, cooking from his sweet spot and single-handedly keeping the Clippers in the game.
Because they have been averaging or shooting at least 40 recently, and rattling it in again is Leonard.
Attempted to switch things up with a 1-2 zone, but it quickly backfired. They were shredded when no one picked up the roller, leaving easy opportunities for timeout after time. The Clippers finally remembered Zubac, the one guy the Lakers couldn't stop in their last matchup. But by then, they were facing an unsolvable puzzle. Luka Doncic, who was taking over the game and making every defensive effort. Luka was the destroyer of worlds, dismantling the Clippers' defense with every move, leaving nothing but chaos in his wake.
Doncic, he's got it!
The ruler of triple teams, effortlessly handling whatever the Clippers threw at him and still finding a way to dominate the game.